recording. Again, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's Weekly Wave. This week's call is going to be fairly short. We don't have a lot of updates for you all. Many of the information that I will be going over today will be gone over in more depth next week. We are still finalizing some materials that I'm going to be referencing in a few slides. So that is the reason why today's call is fairly short, but we will make time for any issues or questions that you guys may have had over spring break or as you're returning from spring break that you're seeing over the last 4 days. So to get right into it, many of our end of year reports are beginning to open across both the WAVE, single sign-on. I'm going to throw out accountability reporting in here. So make sure that you are checking the wizards in the WAVE and in a single sign-on. The screenshot is a little outdated. We will need to update that, but the information in it is still relevant. So you'll want to make sure that you are reviewing your data validation wizard, your district ownership wizard, the STN system in single sign-on, and in the WAVE, the XSD wizard. We've gone over the purpose of all 4 of these wizards in previous calls, but to just quickly go over the 4 of them, if you may be new to joining these calls. The data validation wizard does exactly what it says. This is going to show you any and all errors or warnings that your school information, contact information, student information, anything that your student information system is sending to the WAVE. We do have a little under 200 validations running constantly through all the data that your student information system is sending to the WAVE. So you want to make sure that you are reviewing that, asking questions if you don't understand how to correct the error, and going from there. So again, make sure that you are reviewing your data validation wizard. This is going to be, if you're missing data on a report, you're missing a student maybe in the STN system or the district ownership wizard or something like that. You want to make sure that you're looking at the data validation wizard to make sure that there is, for example, no school-related errors that may cause all of your student enrollments to disappear on a report or things like that. The district ownership wizard is going to show you any instance where we are getting any enrollment overlaps for your students. So this could be a enrollment overlap with your own district, or it could be, in most cases, a enrollment overlap between your district and another. Those situations are very simple to handle. We do have a district ownership contact related to every single student that does appear there. That contact is set by either your district, if you're seeing conflicts with yourself, or you're going to see contacts that were set by another district if you have conflicts with another district. So reaching out to whomever is listed as a contact is going to be your very first step in resolving those. If you are having trouble resolving an issue, you've reached out, say, to another district or site, and you're not getting any sort of response from them, you can reach out to your district, your regional accreditation officer, and they can help mitigate that situation and make that process move a little bit faster in most situations. But typically, just reaching out to the other district's contact is going to be your best bet. They'll either let you know that that student was enrolled on the day that the entry date says, or they'll go ahead and update their student information system so that there's no longer a conflict. The STN wizard or system recently updated in single sign-on will show you any student that has not been automatically assigned an STN by our system. We recently went over the changes with the STN system, with its change from being in the WAVE to being in single sign-on. So if you go onto our website under documents and guidance, we do have that week's weekly WAVE flagged red and in bold to tell you where you can review those slides, or if you want to watch the video, you can watch that YouTube recording as well. And the XSD wizard in the Wave will show you any record that was sent to the Wave but did not meet minimum requirements to be accepted into our system. So it is sitting essentially in a queue until it is fixed in your student information system. So say we are expecting a series of numbers to be sent for a record, but we get text that may cause the record to not be accepted into our system because we do not know what to do with that information. So it needs to be corrected before it'll be accepted into our system. Those errors are extremely important to correct immediately if you're seeing those in your errors or wizards queue box on the Wave homepage. If you're seeing anything other than 0 on the XSD wizard, you will want to make sure you're going in there and resolving the record that is flagged as an error. There will be a message written for those that will explain to you or to your vendor how you go about fixing that, or at least pinpointing you to the exact record that is causing you an error. For those of you who do not know where the XSD wizard is, you may not have access, but if you do, it is under the district tab, and it should be the very last thing that you can see in that drop-down list. So again, in the Wave for the XSD wizard, it is just called XSD Validation Errors Wizard. And that is where you'll go to review any record that was sent by your student information system that did not meet minimum requirements to be accepted and is sitting in a queue of sorts until it is corrected. So going into those end of year reports that are opening, we have gotten a lot of questions about when the dropout report will be opening. And just like last week, it will be opening soon, but I do have a date for you all this week. We are expecting for this report to be open on or before April 1st. Right now, the projected date is to open on April 1st. We'll do a little training during that week's weekly Wave, as well as sending out the guidance so that you'll have everything all at once when the report opens, and you'll be able to talk to us as you're looking at the report, asking any questions as you see them. So again, right now I do not have documentation for you all, but that will be coming soon. The report will be opening on the 1st, and we will dedicate some time during next week's weekly Wave to go over the ins and outs of that report. It will be under the state reporting certification section in the Wave, just like every other report that appears in the Wave. So that report again will be opening on April 1st, 2021. If you're in there right now, you may see that it is an option that you can click on in the report list, but again, it is not live. So please wait until April 1st to reach out to us with any questions, specifically with the information that you are seeing or potentially could see in that report between now and then. The ASR is still open. I'm going to keep saying that. Please do look at your calendars first before you start looking at your attendance. If your calendars are wrong, your attendance and transportation is going to be incorrect as well as your membership. Everything hinges off of the calendar calculation being correct. So again, please make sure that your calendars are as accurate as they can be. If you know that there's going to be changes in your calendar, do anticipate for those changes. To say a day is going to be moved from instructional to a professional development day or something like that. Do make sure that do take into account that will potentially affect the number of membership days for your students. So make sure that you're reviewing both tier 1 information, so the summary information, as well as the day-by-day information in tier 2 for the calendar. You'll also want to then, once you're done with the calendar, look at your attendance. We do have our request schedule posted on our website under documents and guidance. So you can review to see when we do request for your calendars, as well as your students' attendance and transportation. Right now, we are requesting for attendance and transportation on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So if you're making changes on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, unless your student information system is set up to send those changes to us automatically, you will have to wait until our system does make the automatic request to see those changes reflected on the report. The report is 24 hours behind, so if we do happen to get records, say at 11 p.m., you will more than likely not see that on the report the next day. We do start refreshing all of the state reporting certification reports around 8 p.m. So that is why if you are making changes very late in the night, you will not see those changes until the following day when we refresh the report again at around 8 p.m. So we do have guidance on the ASR. It is a monster of a report to get done. So we wanted to make sure that we walked you through every step of the way for that report. So we have guidance on what should you do before you even start looking at your calendars or attendance and things like that. If text is not your thing in terms of learning, we do have visual videos for this specific report, ASR and FQSR. You can review those. It's the link to the YouTube videos are on our website as well under documents and guidance. And we will get you guys a link to that here in a minute, and it'll be in the chat, just like we have posted the other two guides that I have referenced earlier. Those are there if you have not seen them. And last but not least, report-wise, the graduation part-time Q3 report is open, and you'll want to make sure that you do have the list of students that would be on this report handy. You will need their STNs in order to get their information on the report. And if you do have any questions, we will put the email address of the person who you'll want to reach out to with questions in the chat here in just a minute. And while I do that, I will open it up to any questions, concerns, anything like that. And I will go ahead and stop the recording for today. And